From emotional affairs to full-on rage fits, Marge hasn't exactly made things easy. Homer didn't just stand by, he survived. These are 5 times he really should have walked away, starting with Marge secretly building up an emotional affair while Homer stayed clueless in Season 1's Life on the Fast Lane. This one starts on Marge's birthday. Bart and Lisa do their part. They bring her breakfast and gifts. Everyone seems excited except Homer. No, not because he's not happy, but because as usual, he forgets it's her birthday. And then he panics. He races out of the house to grab something. He comes back with a gift-wrapped bowling ball. And just to make it worse, it has his name written on it. It's clearly meant for himself. Poor Marge. Homer tries to act like it's thoughtful. Marge isn't fooled. She looks upset but stays quiet.
Homer, I'm keeping the ball. For myself!
What? But you don't know how to bowl!
Later, she decides to actually use the ball, but not for fun, not for a hobby. She's doing it to prove a point. At the bowling alley, she meets Jacques. He's a bowling coach, French accent, smooth voice, big smile. The moment he sees her, he starts flirting.
It is nice to meet you, Homer.
Oh, no, Homer is my ball's name. I'm Marge.
Being a good wife, Marge should create a barrier, but she doesn't push him away. In fact, she starts enjoying the attention. He touches her hand, he compliments her fingers, he gives her a glove that fits perfectly, they share food, he makes her laugh. It all gets way too personal, and way too fast.
Marge, do you know how beautiful you look in the moonlight?
Oh, Jacques, I'm a married woman.
I know.
Then he asks her to brunch. Not coffee, not lunch, but brunch.
Meet me tomorrow for brunch.
The most emotionally cheating meal of the day, where people flirt and pretend it's innocent. And you know what? Marge agrees. It seems like she was waiting for this moment. She even dreams of dancing with Jacques in a tuxedo.
There are 10 pins in my heart. You've knocked over 8.
He tells her she's knocked over 8 pins in his heart, and she says yes when he asks her to come to his apartment. I repeat, she says yes. It's like a fake romantic movie scene. She never did this for Homer. Homer has no idea what's going on, but he starts feeling something's wrong. He finds the glove Jacques gave her. He sits on the bed, quiet and sad. He doesn't yell, he doesn't accuse. He just looks broken. Aw, poor little Homer. Meanwhile, Marge gets in her car. She drives towards Jacques' apartment. She's on her way to end her marriage, but at the last moment, she changes direction. She turns around and finds Homer at work. She kisses him like nothing happened. That's how close she got. She didn't cheat, but she almost did, and Homer had no clue. He was forgetful, sure, but he didn't deserve that. Let's be honest here. If Homer had done even half of what Marge did, she'd be gone. Marge would have kicked him out without blinking. But when she does it, everyone just moves on. And look how in Strong Arms of the Ma, Marge didn't just cross the line, she body slammed right over it. Marge gets mugged in the Quickie Mart parking lot. The guy grabs her purse, and Marge is left shaken and terrified. This incident affects her deeply. She becomes scared to leave the house. Slowly, her confidence vanishes. She hides indoors. She won't even go to the mailbox. Homer proves how caring and supporting he is. He brings her food. He fluffs her pillow. He even uses the bathroom in the kitchen so she doesn't feel alone. He tries everything. He's patient, he's gentle, he just wants Marge to feel safe again. But Marge keeps slipping away. She stops talking, she stops smiling. And Homer, he feels helpless. The woman he loves won't even look out the window. Then one day, she finds Homer's old dumbbells in the basement. She starts lifting. At first, it seems harmless, a way to get stronger. But soon, she builds a full home gym. The weights get heavier. Her body changes, and so does her mind. Her fear turns into fury. Her love turns into rage. Marge becomes obsessed with bodybuilding. She stops spending time with her family. She enters a fitness contest. The crowd cheers, but Homer just stares. He claps, but inside he's crushed. This isn't the woman he married. Then it all explodes. Marge starts taking steroids. She yells at Homer over nothing. She smashes dishes. She grabs him by the shirt just for asking if she's okay. After her contest win, Marge feels empty. She wants more.
Starting tomorrow, I'm gonna up my glyco load, use a denser ripping gel.
Denser?
So she snapped. She picks Homer up and throws him through a glass window. She runs through town like a monster, flipping cars, breaking windows. and somehow Homer's the one everyone pities. Marge later apologizes. She says she's lost control, but Homer deserved more than an apology. He gave her love. She gave him bruises. If Homer had done what Marge did, he'd be behind bars. And if that wasn't enough, how about the time Marge got a badge and turned Homer's life into a one-woman police state in season 6's The Springfield Connection? One day, on their way home, Homer and Marge take a sketchy shortcut through a bad part of town. That's when Homer gets pulled into a shady street game. Marge warns him it's a scam. Of course, Homer loses money. The guy running the scam tries to run, and nobody does anything. So what does Marge do? She chases him down an alley. You might be thinking, wow, such a good and brave wife. But hold on. After a few days at a grocery store, she sees the cops arresting someone. Her eyes light up, and she thinks she's some kind of hero. She walks into the station and signs up to become a cop. Now, here's where things flip. Marge starts police training and nails it. She passes all the tests like a superwoman. Then she comes home in uniform and announces she's officially an officer.
Wow, Mom, I never pictured you as any kind of authority figure before.
She changes overnight, starts writing tickets, gets weirdly serious about the rules, pulls a gun at a hair salon because a chair made a loud noise. Normal behavior, right? Then she ruins poker night. Homer's having fun with the guys. Moe, Barney, Carl, and Lenny. Cards, cigars, snacks. It's the one time he actually has fun. But Marge walks in like she's raiding a mob hideout.
Illegal gambling in my house?
She kicks everyone out. Homer is humiliated. His own wife calls him out like he's a teenage shoplifter. And it doesn't stop there. She catches him parked across 3 handicap spots. Instead of talking to him, she writes him a ticket. She doesn't even act like he's her husband. After that, things go downhill fast. Homer finds out Herman is running a fake jeans operation in their garage, a whole counterfeit business right under their roof. But instead of telling Marge, Homer tries to handle it himself. He doesn't want to get arrested for opening his own fridge. Eventually, Marge finds out. She storms in and shuts it all down, arrests Herman on the spot like she's on some cop drama. And what does Homer do? Nothing. He just stands there while his wife turns their house into a crime scene. She says she doesn't feel like herself anymore. Great, but by that point, it's too late. She already made Homer feel like a stranger in his own home. She embarrassed him in front of his friends. She turned every small moment into some lesson about rules and law. That's not marriage, that's control. Homer should have divorced her the moment she brought home that badge. And then there's the time Marge ditched her whole personality just to impress rich strangers. In season 7's Scenes from the Class Struggle in Springfield, Marge finds a Chanel suit at a discount store. It's designer, it was cheap, and just like that, she feels like someone new.
You look great.
Really? You like it?
She wears it out and bumps into Evelyn, an old classmate who's rich now and suddenly friendly. Why? Because now Marge looks presentable. Evelyn invites her to the Springfield Country Club, and that's where everything starts falling apart.
Why don't you drop by the country club tomorrow? Oh, and bring the family!
The moment Marge steps into that club, she changes. She walks like a rich lady. She laughs like she understands rich jokes. She even alters the same suit over and over just to keep up her appearances. Meanwhile, Homer? He's just in the background like a forgotten sock, watching his wife lose herself in a fantasy. She doesn't even stop here. Instead, she drags the whole family into it. Homer wants a burger and maybe some peace. Instead, he's forced into a club full of strangers who look down on him. Lisa tried to fit in but was ignored. Bart's stuck with a group of future tax evaders. And Marge, she's busy playing cards like her life depends on winning a new identity. It gets worse. Marge finally gets invited to the big fancy club ball. You think she'd be excited, but she's stressed. She forces Homer into a tux. She tells Lisa to be more ladylike. She keeps criticizing everything they do. Not once does she stop and ask how they feel. She's too busy chasing approval from people who wouldn't even talk to her last week. At Krusty Burger, Homer finally speaks up. Everyone looks miserable, and Homer tells the truth. These people aren't their people. For once, he's completely right. Marge has a moment of clarity. She skips the ball and joins them at Krusty Burger. She smiles like everything's fixed.
We realized we're more comfortable in a place like this.
But it's not. She turned her family into a project and made Homer feel like he wasn't good enough. All to impress rich strangers for one night. That's betrayal. Homer should have been done right there. That wasn't a wife trying to grow. That was a wife trying to upgrade. Finally, there's the time Marge left Homer behind for a wild girls' night in Marge on the Lam. It begins with something simple. Marge wins 2 ballet tickets from a public TV pledge.
Besides, they gave me 2 tickets to the ballet.
The ballet? Woohoo!
She's excited and plans a nice night out with Homer. A little culture, a little music. But Homer, he hears the words ballet and instantly imagines bears on unicycles. His excuse, he's trapped at work. But the truth is, he's not working. He's got both arms stuck in vending machines, trying to steal a free soda. And when help finally arrives, he asks if the machines can be saved instead of himself. That's the kind of man Marge is married to. And still, she's the one who messes up this time. He doesn't even bother calling Marge with a real excuse. She thinks he bailed on purpose. Then comes Ruth Powers. She's Marge's neighbor, strong, single, and confident. Marge asks her to go to the ballet instead. That's fine at first. But things started shifting fast. One innocent night out quickly becomes something else. They skip the ballet, grab drinks, share stories, and hit a country bar. Marge even starts line dancing. She's laughing, feeling alive. But not once does she call Homer. Not once does she think, maybe I should check in. No calls to Homer. No updates. Just vibes and rebellion. Back home, Homer finally gets free and finds out Marge went without him. He's confused, then hurt, then jealous. Homer realizes Marge is out having fun and he's not a part of it. Then it gets worse. Ruth shows up the next night, and Marge jumps in the car without asking questions. Ruth doesn't mention that the car is stolen from her deadbeat ex-husband. She's out for revenge. Marge is now unknowingly riding shotgun in a felony. Chief Wiggum spots them and thinks they're criminals. He starts a full-blown chase. Homer ends up in the passenger seat of the cop car, crying and begging through a megaphone like a man about to lose everything. Homer genuinely cares for her, and Marge always takes him for granted. Eventually, the truth comes out. Ruth confesses. Marge is cleared. Everyone laughs it off. But think about it. Marge left Homer out the loop. She replaced him. She ignored his feelings. And she almost drove off a cliff in a stolen car with another woman while Homer sat home worrying. That's not marriage. That's a red flag parade. So there you have it. 5 times Marge pushed things way too far, and Homer really should have called it quits. If you made it this far, give it a like and hit subscribe for more chaotic Simpsons breakdowns. Think we missed a moment where Marge crossed the line? Drop it in the comments. And if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, comment, and share it with someone who still thinks that Marge is the perfect wife.